Tatsuhisa Suzuki, the man had everything. A prestigious voice acting career, Japan's top J-pop star as his wife, a thriving rock band, and millions of fangirls until he one day lost it all. He was born in Japan, Chiba in 1983 and grew up in Okazaki, Aichi. As a child, he actually wanted to be an architect, but that changed when he watched the American TV show The A-Team. The Japanese dub of that show got him interested in voice acting and he quickly changed directions, but his Asian parents weren't very happy with that because he allegedly wanted to go full throttle and drop out of high school for this. After countless arguments and even a time where the fight was so big, he ran away from home on bicycle and got lost, having to hitchhike back home. I swear in any other country he could have been kidnapped, bro. They came to a reluctant agreement that Suzuki could pursue voice acting as long as he stayed in Aichi, his home prefecture. He therefore enrolled in the Japan Narration Acting Institute's Nagoya school, where he studied for 3 years. Suzuki claims these years were full of hardships. He had anxiety speaking in front of people, found it difficult to express emotions through acting, and would just overthink a lot in lessons. But his 3 years of training paid off when he got access to I'm Enterprise, a major talent agency, home to huge voice actors today such as these. His first role came in 2003 in a basketball anime, Dear Boys, and he spent the next few years building up experience with minor roles such as these. But voice acting aside, Suzuki got a sudden break in music. See, at an anime live event for Saint Beast Kiramonotachi no Seina no Utage 2004, he performed a song titled Black or White on stage. Conveniently, Shinji Inoue, the president of Lantis, a huge music label, was in the audience and impressed by his singing. He directly approached Suzuki after the event and offered him a debut through Lantis, and so Suzuki took it. He released his first single very soon after, and this would be the start of a huge music career alongside voice acting. Despite a decent start, the next 5 years or so were a struggle. Roles remained few and minor, and the biggest I could find was Barry from Pokemon, and Yoko Renbo, Immoral Mother... Why the fuck is this on map? While he did release solo music, nothing really popped off. It wasn't until 2008, as Alistair in Black Butler, that things finally started to change. He started getting main characters. Eshiro in Heaven's Lost Property, Yuji in Bakato Test, Kazunari in Kuroko no Basket, Haru in My Little Monster, and as he voiced Makoto in Free, the fangirls freely started pouring in. He continued to blow up, with Hiromi in Kyokai no Kanata, Ban in 7 Deadly Frames, and yeah, just look at this list. By the mid-2010s, bro was cruising in main characters. He was the new star of the industry and won the Grand Prix Best Voice Actor at the 37th Anime Grand Prix and the Male Character Voice Prize at the Famitsu Awards 2016. On the music side of things, Suzuki co-founded the rock band Old Codex in 2009 as the vocalist and saw success very quickly. The band literally got a major label signing in the year of its debut and made songs to several anime where Suzuki played main characters in, further increasing the appeal of the band. They are responsible for some super iconic anime OPs like these. Suzuki was blowing up on 2 different fronts. I mean, he was a hard worker. He'd been at it for over a decade, and not to mention, even as a straight guy myself, I'll say it, he's handsome and his voice is sexy. Look, the industry agrees with me, okay? A certain pop star, I think, also agrees with me. In 2019, a fucking paparazzi company, Bunshun, sorry, I hate them. They like stock voice actors for scoops and stuff. I can't believe it's not illegal. Reported seeing Suzuki and J-pop star Lisa hugging in a car. By the way, in case you for some reason don't know Lisa, she's one of the biggest anisong and J-pop singers in the industry. Surely you've heard at least a few of these songs. They were also seen multiple times coming out of the same apartment, implying they lived together. And this fucking reporter stalks their entire trip of going cherry blossom watching. Point is, the paparazzi confirmed that the two were dating, and a ring was even seen on Suzuki's left hand, implying the two had actually been married. Fans speculated and were already congratulating them. They were right. About half a year later, Suzuki and Lisa officially announced their marriage, and some parasocial fans aside, it was pretty well received. left. This was big news in the anime community. A top voice actor and a top J-pop singer. People called them a power couple, and rightfully so. The wedding messages they posted were super sweet too. Suzuki literally wrote how he realized he wanted to grow old with her once he felt everyday happiness with Lisa. And honestly, I think this is the highest and best form of relationship you can find with the partner. Everything was going good career-wise too. Suzuki kept getting big roles like Anus Vodigo and Ken in Tokyo Revengers. And Lisa's career was literally blowing up with Gurenge and Homura absolutely exploding through Demon Slayer. You don't get it. This was a national phenomenon. Homura was like the national anthem at the time. You could not escape the song in Japan. This power couple seemed unstoppable until a certain article was posted in July 2021. Before we move on, I'd like to remind everyone that everything said from here on out is by a paparazzi company. So really take everything I say with a grain of salt, alright? Although their evidence is pretty convincing. Bunjin, yes, them again, posted allegations against Suzuki for having an affair with a woman in her 20s, anonymously named Ako, who was apparently a fan of Suzuki and an employee at a recording studio. There were two main parts. The first one was how the two secretly met at a hotel in Shibuya, central Tokyo. They have a lot of details, but the two allegedly met once every 2 to 3 weeks, and Suzuki even celebrated Ako's birthday with her, with Shibuya's beautiful night view at this hotel. Eventually, Suzuki started bringing Ako to Lisa and his apartment when Lisa was away for a concert. Why do people do this? This isn't even the worst part, well, at least for Suzuki's career, because allegedly, Suzuki was letting Ako listen to unreleased songs of his band and even anime, which would be going against NDA and stuff. But wait, how the hell did Bunjin find all this info, you may ask? Well, Ako decided for some reason it would be a good idea to brag to not just her friends, but publicly online on her social media about this affair and her interactions with Suzuki, including the listening to unreleased songs part. Are you stupid? Eventually, a reporter of Bunjin randomly approached Suzuki in person and asked him about all this. Suzuki allegedly panically entered a taxi after denying said allegations and remained silent afterwards. And Ako's social media very quickly deleted all posts about Suzuki, but it was too late. Bunjin had a bunch of pictures, and as the article was released, the internet was enraged, and Suzuki's reputation was dragged through the mud. A few days after the publication, Suzuki's agency announced that he would halt all entertainment activities due to poor health. Lisa also announced she would be suspending some activities, including a cancelled live tour due to mental and physical fatigue, which I actually got tickets to that concert, and because of that, I still haven't seen Lisa live to this very day. Obviously, it sounded vague, but everyone knew the real reason. However, something darker was to come. A little after the scandal, Suzuki reportedly attempted suicide and was rushed to the hospital. There were even reports claiming he was in critical condition, was put on the ventilator, and how Lisa rushed to the hospital. I genuinely cannot imagine how Lisa felt at the time. Like, does she stay mad at him? Feel guilty? I don't know. Fans of Lisa were also angry, saying stuff like, where is Lisa supposed to direct her anger towards? Why would her husband attempt suicide? Isn't it Lisa who's suffering? Suzuki, upon seeing Lisa, repeatedly apologized for what he had done. And Lisa, even though wanted to leave him at first, chose to forgive Suzuki and gave him another chance. This is honestly pretty strong considering Lisa herself actually came from a broken family with divorced parents. Suzuki eventually recovered physically after a few weeks, and on his official agency website, Suzuki posted a handwritten apology letter for his actions. This, however, did not stop the professional fallout. Soon after, many anime series dropped Suzuki's roles, including many big ones. Here's the detailed info on screen. It's pretty serious. Tokyo Revengers, Anus Vodigo, and even some minor roles. Suzuki's music career also died. As the scandal first came to light, Suzuki's band, Old Codex, went on indefinite hiatus. At a particularly bad time too, considering they were supposed to do music for the new Free Part 1 movie. However, the film's distributor made the decision to cancel the planned public preview, and the song supposed to be used was pulled, the band stayed pretty silent for half a year, and in December, the band announced that they would provide music for the next Free film, Part 2, but would then be disbanding as they felt it was no longer feasible to go on after 12 years. Although the scandal was never explicitly mentioned, again, fans kind of just connected the dots and figured the scandal was definitely related. At this point, Suzuki had effectively lost everything. Most of his big roles were gone, his music career dead, his reputation in shambles, and few people, especially Lisa fans, had any sympathy for him. Suzuki spent the next 8 months on recovery and did eventually come back to the few roles that weren't removed. He continued as a voice actor with mostly minor roles, but never really returned to his former glory. In 2023 October, he departed from I'm Enterprise and continued working as a freelancer. After over 20 years at the agency, it's unclear if the scandal had anything to do with it. He did last year start a new music band called Shinkido & Co., where he is, once again, the vocalist, and has had a concert, but again, not as big as his previous band. On the personal side of things, he actually had a kid with Lisa in 2023, which may imply that Lisa had truly forgiven him and that he had regained her trust to some extent. The two have not divorced and have remained together to this very day, raising this child. God, I hope that child never Googles his parents' names. The story of Suzuki is tragic, and I don't know if he deserved everything. It's a nuanced thing. Like, yeah, cheating is absolutely terrible, especially bringing the affair partner to your house. But should private issues completely ruin your career like this? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? The other thing about this matter is, many other male voice actors have actually been caught cheating on their partner before, but the fallout was nowhere near as big. Most of them just gave an apology, lost no roles, and went about their careers. There were a few key differences. 1. Suzuki's wife was Lisa, not a normal woman. Lisa was literally at the peak of her career at the time of the scandal. She was like the face of J-pop in Japan as Demon Slayer was blowing up. Cheating on the possibly #1 J-pop singer at the time would trigger some intense reactions. Well, bro, you were married to Lisa of all people in the first place. I can't believe he felt the need to cheat. 2. The NDA thing probably played a part too. Letting unauthorized people listen to new songs in advance and breaking NDA doesn't sound like as big of a thing to the average person, but it definitely destroys trust in the professional industry. 3. Not that like I blame him for it or think this is something he took into consideration at the time, but his side attempt definitely also made the incident attract more attention than a normal cheating scandal, which made the whole thing a bigger deal than it was supposed to be. At the end of the day, what's happened has happened, and I think Suzuki got his retribution. I can only hope he's learned his lesson and stays a good husband and father as he continues to work hard. But what do you guys think? Did Suzuki deserve everything? Was it too much? Do you miss his Anos Vodigold voice like me? Do tell me in the comments. I am curious. Me? I'm still salty this man costed me a Lisa concert. Arr! Special thanks to Vicente Pagani and all my other patrons and members for supporting the channel.